And joining us now is former NATO Supreme Allied Commander Admiral James Stavridis. Admiral, a total of 20 attacks against U.S. forces now in Iraq and Syria since just October 17th. The latest one just today after the strike last night, overnight, hitting Iranian-linked targets in Syria. Just how worrying is it?
I think it is worrying, but I would still assess the chances of an Iran-U.S. direct conflict as quite low. Neither side wants it. The Iranians have significant internal turmoil in their own country. Their economy is in poor shape. They have very little sets of allies and partners. They're basically locked out of the region in terms of real alliance and friendships. So Iran really doesn't want to get in a serious war with the United States. And over on the other side, certainly the Biden administration, particularly heading into an election year in 2024, the last thing they want is a significant conflict. So I think the fundamentals here are quite against a wide escalation. Let's call it a 10% chance. That's still uncomfortably high. And what we need to worry about is that ladder of escalation. Iran hits us, we hit them back, they hit us a little harder. All of a sudden, Hezbollah gets into this and starts moving missiles toward Israel. You can see that ladder of escalation overtaking the better instincts, if you will, on both sides. So worrisome. I don't think that's where we're headed, but one to keep a weather eye on, as we would say in the Navy.
And here in Washington, Secretary Blinken is meeting again for the second day with Wang Yi, top advisor to President Xi, foreign minister. And these meetings are supposedly focused largely on Iran because of the events in the Middle East, of course. The hopes by the administration that China will use its extensive influence over Iran because they purchase so much Iranian oil and their economy relies on that, and they do not need a larger war involving Iran and the United States, potentially, with oil prices shooting up and supplies going down. So the question is, will China do that? Because China has been with Russia and North Korea in that axis against the U.S. Will China help us and help the world avoid a larger war?
The short answer is, above all, what President Xi wants is for the global economy not to go into some kind of huge recession, which is what would occur if the U.S. and Iran got into a significant war and attendant jump in oil prices. And don't forget, China gets the majority of their hydrocarbons come from the Arabian Gulf. So that's his ultimate good, is his economy. I think that U.S.-China relations, as a general proposition, are on a bit of an upswing. We've seen a lot of cabinet officials from the U.S. go to Beijing. Now we're seeing Chinese cabinet officials like Wang Yi come here. And all of this, Andreas, headed toward mid-November, just a few weeks from now, when President Xi and President Biden are going to have a face-to-face. All indications are this will happen in San Francisco. That's another reason our diplomats are talking to each other. In terms of China and its influence in the Middle East, it's quite significant. This is one of those odd situations where the U.S. and China conceivably could work together because, again, here, neither side, China, U.S., wants a breakdown in the Middle East.
But just one other wrinkle was that overnight also a Chinese plane went within 10 feet of an American plane.
Yeah, and the way to think about this is strategically, U.S. and China have some opportunities to work together, but there are going to be dangerous tactical spikes along the way. Think of the spy balloon. Think of these close encounters in the South China Sea. But let's hope that the better angels on both sides can come to a situation to help in the Middle East. It is not inconceivable.